Critics of the election reform law being pushed by the Democrats are denouncing the bill known as H.R. 1 as an unconstitutional federal power grab. At least 20 Republican state attorneys general are calling on congressional leaders to oppose the bill. One of those is West Virginia Attorney General Patrick Morrisey, and he joins us now. I got your signature on this piece of paper, which I clearly messed up using a highlighter. But what's your problem, General Morrisey, with H.R. 1?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. This is a very dangerous bill. And at its core, this is a major power grab by Congress and by Speaker Pelosi. If you look at the Constitution lays out how elections are going to be set forth. There's obviously some role for the federal government in a number of the elections. There's a primary role for the state government. This bill is trying to wipe out a significant amounts of the state's role in managing elections. What is that going to do? Number one, it's going to undermine voter ID, which I think is critical, and it helps to reduce fraud. It's in place in 35 states. Number two, it's actually going to limit the state's ability to take inactive voters off the rolls, once again, to provide more confidence to the American public that people who shouldn't be voting aren't actually getting to the polls if they're ineligible. And it also will chill free speech. This is welfare for politicians. It should not pass the U.S. Senate. If it does, I'm prepared to file a lawsuit to make sure that this unconstitutional legislation is struck down.
Well, there you go. You preempted my final question of this segment. But let me go to this idea, General Morrisey. There are many supporters of the bill, most of them Democrats, who say that this is necessary for ensuring fairness in elections by limiting money in, big money in campaigns, making voting easier and more secure, designating the drawing of congressional districts to independent commissions as opposed to the party that runs the legislature. The former First Lady, Michelle Obama, said, quote, "The idea that we cannot hold both secure elections and ensure that every eligible voter can make their voices heard is a false choice. It's based on lies, and it flies in the face of our history. It's sad, it's infuriating, and it's a genuine threat to our future that must be taken seriously." What do you say to Mrs. Obama?
I mean, these are nonsensical statements. I think if you focus in on what's really going on in this bill, you realize that after the presidential election, a lot of people's confidence in how elections were handled was eroded. So the best thing that could have done would be to take the rhetoric of Joe Biden. He's trying to unify the country, so he says, and bring everyone together and get a bipartisan election integrity bill. They chose the opposite pathway. Why? Because they're trying to put more power in place on the federal side. It's a Pelosi power grab. And you see that in terms of undermining the states rather than trying to fix all of the problems. The other point I would make on the free speech side and the campaign limits, what they're looking to do, and you see it in other aspects of their agenda as well, they're trying to chill free speech and have these Hollywood blacklists. Many people may remember about a year or two ago, there were a number of Trump donors that were put on the internet. They try to target those people. That's what this is all about, to chill free speech and to make sure power shifts to one particular party.
We'll keep watching this closely. It looks like it's probably going to pass, but your concerns about it duly noted. Attorney General Patrick Morrisey of the great state of West Virginia, good to talk to you today. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks so much. Grateful.